What we're trying to do is provide a loving, nurturing environment and educational programs for our children. And then on top of that, to help support that environment, we also look to provide an array of services for their parents and their grandparents or their extended family, so that you take this environment that we're creating and hopefully move that over, migrate that over to their family, so that the kids have a consistent lifestyle as much as possible.
We aim to serve the immediate community as well as the surrounding communities, and that to create a sound early child educational programs that offer early intervention services, and to identify the needs as they change in the community and to address those needs, whether it be for young mothers or the homeless, or working with school-age children, mentoring them before or after school.
We work with the city school district. We work with the various agencies such as the Monroe County Department of Social Services. We've worked with the Family Court as well as CPS to say, what is it we need to have for our parents? So if our parents come in to say, let's just say they need housing supplement, we can also help provide that, not in terms of actually providing the subsidy, but at least say, okay, this is the person to call, so that you don't end up in a situation where you lose your house or you have to move to someplace else. We are nationally accredited. To us, what this means is that we have been judged, you could say. We've gone through a process where a national organization come in and says, you have met this high level of criteria. You are able to teach these kids. You are able to do, in our case, wonderful things with these kids on a national level in terms of these are the standards that have to be met and these are the standards that you are meeting.
There's not a lot of centers in Rochester that have accreditation, and I think there's probably fewer today than there were even a couple years ago, because the process has gotten a lot harder.
Accreditation, national accreditation, which is through the National Association for the Education of Young Children, is a self-assessment. It's a tool that you can use to really look at the services that you are providing, from the educational level of the teachers to the, if your meals are nutritious, to health component, administration component. There's 10 standards and over 400 criteria that you have to meet.
One of the things that you go on their center's website, you'll see a lot of information, but one of the things that's kind of not captured there is that the history of this center. So it has a long history. The center's been around a long time in this particular community. And for child care centers, oftentimes you don't see them last that long, and especially in the same neighborhood. And this community, has a lot of challenges. And it listed as one of the poorest communities in the country by concentrated poverty. So to be in an area like that, providing a service that the center provides, to me is tremendous, especially the level of service that they provide here.
Give Grandma a hug. She's gonna be back later. You wanna see her later, okay?
We found also that quite a few of the families that have come through are grandparents raising grandchildren. So that really changes the population that you serve, where you're not directly with the parent, you're with the grandparents. So they have different needs from the individual parent maybe, and that could be also being that liaison at the school with the teachers and that, and actually learning how to parent all over again.
The Radical Readers Program. It's a program that we use here at the center to help bolster our kids. Again, for me, it's their enjoyment of reading, the love of reading. We also try to get them involved very much in this program so that they can further build as they get ready for school.
Ready? Down in the ball.
I teach the UPK program here, and it's through the Rochester City School District. We contract with them, and we teach the high scope curriculum, so it's kind of like a child-directed curriculum. And we do math, science, music, social studies, everything that the kids get in the upper grades, we do in the UPK program.
My Life Counts is a program where we are trying to instill in these children here, especially in today's climate and times, that they do have a value, that their life has a value, that their self-esteem, that they have something where it's no longer, no one cares about me, I don't have a value, where as these kids grow up with that old mentality, they don't have a value for other people's lives. So now if we can instill in them that there is a value for themselves, that we instill their self-confidence and self-esteem, hopefully that will stem the tide as this generation of kids grow up to leave that hopelessness alone.
One of the most popular programs that we have is called Home Away from Home. It's a program to support homeless families, and it's to assist them becoming more efficient and getting back into the realm of life due to maybe domestic violence or loss of employment. Sometimes it's due to fires, and that there's a whole realm of reasons which opened my eyes to actually what homelessness is. So we collaborate with different organizations, and our role in that is to provide the early child education support of that, as well as transportation and that, working with the different shelters and that to keep that family intact.
Actually, I want to say we're on our second generation of kids. And what I mean by that is the center's been around since, I want to say approximately 71, I do believe. It was originally associated with a church, but we've taken it over since then. And the one thing I've noticed in my relative short time on the board compared to how long the center's been around, the number of kids in that initial generation who have brought their kids back because of the environment that they remember.
It's very sentimental. As I say, every time I come in the building, I look all around, even down to the bathroom where the toilet seat used to seem so high and now it's tiny down to the floor. So, yeah, it's nice to look and see everything, and it's just get better every time I come in.
Well, I think it's saying that there's an environment, number one, that's safe, number two, that's consistent. And see, in the child's life, that's one of the things that is important, that you remain consistent and you don't move the kid around a lot. Like, I was a young person. After coming here, I went to a lot of different schools.
They want to make sure their kids have that same environment and have that same type of educational boost that they received.
I was kind of weary about putting my kids in childcare at first, and then I remembered that they could come here because I came here when I was younger. So it's good to know that they're in good hands with somebody that I actually know and who have known me almost all my life.
I take great pride in that because it validates what it is that we're doing here, and to be able to share with them the achievements that they may not have been here before as things have progressed here, and to remember us and to come back is one of the biggest reasons that I stay here.
It's like a family. They notice things about Chase that's my son is Chase. They notice things about him that I didn't even notice. They noticed that he had a speech delay, and then they even provided the services. They put that all in place for me, for him to have speech here when he was younger. They know him. It's not like he's a number. They know his personality. They've watched him grow. I wouldn't have him go anywhere else. I don't care how much money it costs.
You have to know the children individually, their personalities, and you need to know the parents, and you have to accept them where they are. And then you create your programs and your support around that.
What drives me are the kids, and these kids are so loving, and some of them maybe don't get all the love that they need at home because there's a lot of single-parent families, a lot of them living with their grandma, some foster kids, homeless kids, and things like that, but they just eat up any affection. And I'm just watching them when their little faces light up when they finally realize and they're starting to learn and things, and they're opening up. We spend a lot of time in community issues, learning to live with each other, helping each other, and things like that, and they really do a good job of that.
You look at them and you know that you're making a difference. You can tell they feel comfortable here. That's a real big thing for kids. They really need to feel like it's a safe place for them to come and that people care about them. And, in order for them to learn, that's a real important part of what an environment needs to be for kids.
The earlier we can get our young people, to keep them off the streets, to get them on the right path to graduation, to higher education and or to a better way of living or quality of life, whether it be through job training, skills trades. This is the beginning stages of that as early childhood development. So I think it's paramount to the success of young people in this community.
Expansion. We love our facility, but we also realize there's a lot more kids that need to be reached. There is just from folks coming to us, and we realize that we've had to put them on a wait list because our facility only holds 62 kids. More importantly, more kids that we can reach, more kids that we can help.